So they say this thing can go 35 miles an hour. It's got full suspension, 1600 watts peak power, runs on 52 volts, D&M suspension on the rear, and upgraded suspension on the front for the Vitilan T7 Pro. The Pro version does have quite a few upgrades over the regular. That's why they call it the Pro. List price is $2,699, but it is on quite a bit of a sale in the link below this video in the description box. You can also check out the non-Pro version if you want a cheaper version. Skimming the spec sheet here, looks pretty decent. Let's check it out. And around back we have a Bafang geared hub motor. Rated for 1000 watts. Nominal wattage, it could do more in that peak. And it is a 52 volt motor. And the rear suspension sits on a 4-bar linkage. It is the D&M A08RC suspension, which I've had good experience with in the past. It is an air shock with adjustments. You can lock it out. A couple adjustments there, and adjust the rebound here. And adjust the air in it, which I'll show you on the other side in a few. We are rolling on Tektro hydraulic brakes, 180 millimeter rotor on the rear. And of course the 26x4 Fatty CST BFT knobby tread. Can't wait to try this on the sand. Up front, we also get a 180 millimeter rotor. Once again, Tektro brand. And a dual crown fork with a little bit upgraded suspension over the non-Pro version. Look at that here in a few. But first, let's take a look at the frame and the battery. This one is in black, but they do have this bike in multiple colors. I think they're chameleon colors, pretty neat. Yikes, that's not good though. Maybe we can buff it out, but there's a little scratch on the frame of this one. Darn it, go ahead and drop that battery out of there. Take a closer look at this. Stated to be a rechargeable lithium ion battery pack, which sure hope is rechargeable. Listed as 52 volts, 20 amp hours, 1040 watt hours of energy. So should be a little bit dialed up over our typical 48 volt systems we see on this channel. And it is Samsung cells, so that's good. Guessing the charger is in here. Oh geez, check out the pedals. These things will definitely dig into your shoes a little bit, help you get some grip on them. Careful not to catch your shin on these ones though, because they are metal and a little bit, well, let's just say they could do some damage if they hit your shin. User manual for the bike, as well as the suspension, tools, and a charger. It is a 3 amp output charger, 52 volts charge to max is 58.8, as we know. 20 amp hour battery divided by 3 amp charge rate would take about 7 hours to charge from empty to full. Left shoulder of the front suspension has an adjustment for your air right here, so you can dial the suspension in. And on the right shoulder, you also get adjustments. The non-Pro version of this bike comes with a Mozo 60 millimeter hydraulic suspension, but the one we have, the Pro, has Ouding 105 air suspension. I don't think I've tried this suspension before, so I'm excited to see how it rides. Handlebars are pretty much flat, a little bit of rise. Typical of a mountain bike style e-bike. And we do get faux leather ergonomic grips bolted down. And this is a TFT display, which will power up soon. 8 speeds on the Shimano shifter, quarter twist throttle on the right. Tektro hydraulic brake levers to match the rest of the Tektro stuff, and our controls. Ooh, almost missed the horn. And a USB charge port on the left here. Front wheel secures down with a bolt. And on the bottom of the right stanchion, we get an adjustment for the rebound. 8 gears on the cassette, Shimano Altus derailleur, and a pretty large chain ring up front. Should be good for some higher speed pedaling. There's a guard on the right side, not on the left side. Hopefully we don't lose the chain, we shall see. Seat has a quick release lever. Pretty typical wide seat. This one has a little bit of humps on it. 33.9 mil on the diameter. Looks like it can adjust about 6 inches. And the frame does have mounting points for a rear rack. And they give us some plastic fenders, so what the hell, we'll put them on. Headlight will be coming in a different box. I'll splice in a little clip so you can see what it looks like. And as promised, here's the other side of that D&M shock. Here's where you would add air. Another look at the adjustments on it. You do need a special kind of pump to put the right pressure in that thing. This is a shock pump. It goes up to like 360 PSI. The user manual will tell you what pressure to set the shock at for your specific weight to dial it in. For example, a weight of 200 pounds, you should have the air chamber, the main air chamber, at 150 PSI, much more than a normal pump could do. So before we throw that battery on, I want to weigh this thing. So without the battery on there, I'm just gonna pick the whole bike up. 272. How much weight are we gonna subtract today? Me without the bike, 201. So about 71 pounds without the battery. Then the battery weighs in at 12.2. So once you pop that battery in there, the whole thing weighs about 83 pounds. So let's fire it up, see what it looks like. TFT display, looks clean, and it is color, obviously. Shows us our trip, wattage of the motor, love to see that. Of course, our pedal assist, as well as mile per hour front and center. Looks like ambient temperature of the room. Tap that button. We get time, trip, odometer, basic stuff. Very nice looking display. What do we get? 5 levels, yep. And then our battery bar readout. So battery life is kind of just that little slider green bar there. So as mentioned, the light, I will splice in a little clip, show you what the front headlight is. It comes in a separate box. You hold the plus button, it should turn on the lights. But yeah, there's no lights on this thing right now at all. They do give us this little thing for the seat. You just kind of clip that reflector on back there. And there's a horn button, which is gonna be built into the light. So the seat is on max height. I am 6'5", inseam 34. I'll show you what it looks like getting on this thing. I have not adjusted the suspension settings at all. So this is what it's like out of the box. And we do get adjustments. And here's kind of standover height. Feels fine. Here's what my pedal stroke looks like with an inseam of 34, seat on max height. I can reach the ground, and front suspension is adjustable, feels fine out of the box, honestly. And drop that seat on all the way down to the bottom. Here's what it looks like with the seat on minimum height. I need to adjust the suspension a bit on the rear. Oh yeah, there we go. It was locked out. The backup seat. So with the seat on max height, I do feel like this bike could benefit from having a slightly longer seat post for a taller dude. But, I mean, you could easily swap that out if you want. Whoa, don't hit your leg on those pedals. Suspension feels good. Also, front suspension feels good. So what can I do with no load? Pedal assist 5, ready, go. On the default settings, flooring it will take us up to a little lag on the speedo, a lot of lag on the speedo. Stopping us at 27, so we need to get into settings and see if we can unlock the 35 mphs. Just check the manual, you double press the M button to get into advanced. So you can change quite a few stuff here. Advanced settings. What? Password? Here's the secret password, don't tell anybody. And here is where the good stuff is. Speedometer, speed limit is set to 45 out of the box. We will just crank it on up to 55 is the max. Current limit is set to 30 out of the box. Oh, we can dial that up too. There's no way the controller's giving us that much power. We'll mess with this later. I'm just gonna leave it on 30. So that'll be about 1740 watts of power. And then throttle level, I think all this other stuff is cool. So now it should be unlocked. Let's give it a rip. Oh yeah, that sounds a little faster. I can feel the wind blowing on me. Yeah, buddy. So it's saying 34. 34? Come on, give me 35. So I guess that's a theoretical max. And I can tell it goes a little faster. Can you tell? So let's get the headlight on there and take this thing out for a rip. All right, dudes, got that headlight on there looking fresh, and we got 52 volts. They say 35 miles an hour. We're gonna track our official range on the Strava app per use. This bike is mildly exciting. Got some pretty good suspension on there. Let's go see if it can do what they say it can. Oh my goodness, that is freaking loud. Gotta say, man, the light is pretty darn bright. I can see that shining on the wall from a long ways away. And according to the spec sheet here, it says it has 90 Newton meters of torque, 1600 watts peak power. We have it on pedal assist 5 here. We do have a little watt meter right there, so let's just feel it out. So pedal assist 5 rolls on the throttle gently, actually, showing 750 watts. So this one is gonna limit us, like, basically, if our speed doesn't get up fast enough, it's not gonna give us full power. There might be settings in there I can mess with. Let's give it just a little bit of a roll out here. So 900, 1000 watts, 1200 watts. So there's the torque. Definitely seems like it gives you more power as you get the speed up just a bit. And I'm gonna start pedaling here on gear 1 and just no throttle now, just kind of pedaling. 900 watts. So I feel like we have not felt the full power of this e-bike yet. It just doesn't give you all the power. Let's turn this headlight off. That makes the TFT display a little bit brighter. And double tap the M button here. Let's see what the settings are here. Advanced settings. Oh, I forgot what the password was. It's been a couple days. Just read the book and see what it says. 1801 is the secret code. Current limit 30 amps. So you can turn that up. It'll let you turn that up to way more than it can actually give you. I have it on 54 amps. There's no way it's gonna do 54 amps. Throttle level is a yes or no kind of question. Throttle at 6 km, yes. So I'm not sure how to change the sensitivity. So pretty torquey, pretty powerful bike, but it does not give you all the power off the line. And can we see that TFT display through the polarized lenses? Sometimes they will filter out. Yep, this one sure filters right out the polarized lenses. Pretty typical of TFT displays. Oh, take these off. And is this one a cadence sensor or a torque sensor? I forget. Feels like a cadence sensor so far. Let's go ahead and try the suspension out. Oh yeah, that's like the highlight of this bike is the suspension probably. The throttle will take us up to about 9 miles an hour. And then on pedal assist 1, then pedal assist 2 gives us a kick up to about 12. And it is a cadence sensor I can feel because I'm not applying any power to the chain and it's giving me power. And then it has like the speed cutoffs per pedal assist level. So pedal assist 1, it doesn't matter like if you're on pedaling or throttling, it just gives you like a gentle level of power until you hit about 7 or 8 on either throttle or pedaling. Same goes for pedal assist 2 here, a little jump in power. So I can feel the motor kicks a little harder after you're already rolling. As I typically say, they probably do that where it doesn't give it full power at like really slow speed so you don't burn your motor up. I mean, if you're going like 1 or 2 miles an hour up a hill and just flooring it on a geared hub motor, you can send a lot of current into that motor, get it way too hot, cause the gears to, you know, not the gears, but the motor coils to burn up. So let's try pedal assist 3 here. I can't put my shades on though. So pedal assist 3 here. This one does have 8 speeds and yeah, it gives you like a ramp up in power for sure. So it's not gonna be one of those bikes that are like super jerky. And yeah, now it's giving us about 1,000 watts. It ramped up and now at about 19 miles an hour it's topping us out for pedal assist 3, and we are on gear 6, which I can barely keep up with. I am noticing like the seat post on this one, I feel like they could have put a little bit longer seat post on that. Of course, that's something you could just swap out on your own, you know, if you want like a higher seat height, that is. Oh yeah, once you're on like going about 10, 15, like you really feel that power applying when you start pedaling. But from a stop, it is definitely gentle, so it makes it kind of for like a mellow, controlled kind of ride. All right, let's try pedal assist 4. Just kind of rotating my legs over, showing 1,100, 1,200, 13, 1,400 watts, 1,500 watts. So it's like a turbocharger on this thing. Like the faster you go, the more power it gives you. It's like building power as you go. That's not how electric motors work, but it's kind of like simulating to be that way. So I just threw my speedometer app up there. Let's go ahead and try that again on pedal assist 4. We're not on 5 yet, but yeah. 1,000 watts now 1,500 watts at about 15 miles an hour. So it definitely picks up quickly. It just doesn't hit you with all the power like right away. Oh, and we have cruise control on. So we're getting 500 watts here and I'm doing nothing. Oh, we better use the brakes. Red light of the Lamborghini Urus out, looking like a Mazda. Not sounding like a Mazda though. So you can get into the menus and turn that cruise control off if you don't want it to automatically kick on. Let's feel this suspension out. So yeah, the D&M rear shock and the Uding front dual crown fork, definitely like way above normal on suspension for the bikes that I review on this channel. Let's throw this thing on pedal assist 5 and pop on out here. We got a little bit of speed in this thing already. They say 35. Let's see what we can hit here on this downhill. We're getting cut off by the trail boss here. He's got work to do. 23, we had to hit the brake there for a second. Somebody's shopping cart is empty over here, but dude, oh yeah, 33 into a headwind. Not bad. So there's a 52 volt e-bike showing, yeah, 35 on my GPS into headwind, so pretty solid. Oh, we did have cruise control on, and I'm gonna try and hurry up and get over here before we get ran over like a bug. And I'm gonna just pop over here and do a little off-roaded on this thing, because we got the upgraded suspension, you know. Well, it's not upgraded, but compared to, you know, most bikes I review, upgraded over that. Oh yeah, big in the suspension, man. And I don't think we're supposed to merge in here, but we're doing it. Fun bike so far. Definitely feel a little bit of weight in it, of course. You know, it's got the bigger 52 volt battery on there. Yeah, this thing likes to go fast, man. And cruise control, again. It likes to just go fast without anything, just on its own. I might turn that cruise off. It's a little bit much. I will say I cannot really get a proper pedal stroke length extension on this. I wish the seat was a little bit higher on this. I am noticing these pedals are very grippy though, and also you have to have a little respect for them. You don't want to clip your shin on those. So the soft start is going to hurt the 0 to 20 time here in a moment, but makes for a pleasant ride. So let's see what it'll do here. Ready, go. Yep. 300, 400, 500 watts, 1,000 watts. And well, I'm not really sure the speedometer on here is lagging. Oh yeah, another thing I've noticed is like the steering, due to the dual crown fork, does not turn quite as far as a typical bike. Not really a big deal at all, just, you know, if you're doing a lot of tight turns, that's about as much turn as you got. All right, so we'll look at the GPS here, and this is the onboard, ready, go. Easy on the power. It just lags so much, I'm not gonna be able to get an accurate reading. It says we're going 3 miles an hour. GPS lags 220, roughly. So there you have it. So it's not like a super hard launch, but like I was saying before, it's like a turbocharger almost. Like that power builds and it just like unleashes as you're going faster. It gives you more and more power. Let's get some air here. Oh yeah, did you hear the back wheels spin? Let's get some air here. Back wheel came off the ground a little bit and the power was going down. I mean, down to the ground, that is. So the handlebars, you know, they're like kind of like lower, gives you a little bit more aggressive riding position compared to like some BMX risers, but gives you a lot more control over that front end. I'm having fun on this thing, I'll say that. Civilized people are so strange. They all have watches and none of them has any time. Wow, got some profound stuff being written on the walls around here. Got the trike out. Everybody's out today cruising. So cruise control is nice for cruising, but we're gonna go ahead and throw this thing on pedal assist 5, which cancels the cruise control. And we are going to bust a UE, see what kind of top speed we can hit. 1400, 1500 watts, 1530, 1550, 1560, and doing 28, 29. A little bit of tailwind here, not much, 32. Miles an hour, 33. Still pulling 1570 watts, 1550, 35 miles an hour, and it cuts you off right when it hits 35 on there. I thought the motor cut out, so it will limit you at 35, even if you tuck, which is probably fast enough to be on cruise control. Going 35 with one hand on the handlebars. Should we try no hands? Nah, let's live to ride another day. Of course, that was with no pedaling at all. Honestly, when you're going that fast, it doesn't even matter if you pedal. Like, even if I was like maxing out, you know, I might be able to get like 1 more mile an hour in, but at 26 on gear 8, I can keep up with the pedaling. Let's crank it on up into headwind. Yeah, so you can keep up with some high-speed pedaling to some degree here. Yeah, and rolling up to some really thick but shallow marine layer going on here. What I mean by that is, look at this, dude. Like, you can't even see the water, but this marine layer basically ends like right there. Usually, like when the marine layer is this thick, it goes for like a mile, but this is like a little different than usual. Kind of cool, foggy look going on here. I guess to further elaborate, like you notice, like coming to the beach, like just like a half a mile away, it was fully sunny. Now, like, it's fully foggy right here. Wow. It'll probably burn off by the end of this video. We'll see. All right, so let's see if we can go up this hill. I'm really curious to see how this is gonna do in like sand performance. Full throttle! Oh yeah. So it gave me the juice there. Once it unlocks like that full, like, you know, 1600 watts, no problem. And yeah, suspension, you know, I feel some of the bumps coming up through, but you know, I did not take any time dialing the suspension into my weight. Look at the boots this dude's got. But yeah, suspension on this bike is good, man. The D&M rear shock, dual crown Uding fork with tons of travel. The dual crown fork gives you a little more rigidity in that front end. Let's go ahead and ride it down these stairs over here. You don't even have to bother lowering the seat. The seat's already on max. A lot of times I'll drop it. Yeah, solid. Just in case, you know, you don't want your seat on max height. In case you need to stop, put your foot down on the stairs. Would not be a good place to take a tumble if your goal is staying alive. What's up, dude? Breaking out the KVO. Dude, there's so many keys you got right there.
4 locks on one bike, 4 locks on another bike.
Oh yeah, you have to around here. Is that pepper spray too?
That's pepper spray.
You gotta have it around here, man. You never know what's going on around here. You can hear that motor makes a bit of noise. Pretty typical.
I like it. Power, I like the shocks. That's a nice feel. Yeah, I like it a lot. This shock is better than the one on mine.
Yeah, it's got the Bafang brand. Like, that's kind of like name brand, you know.
That's good because if something happens on the line, it's easy to change out, right?
Exactly.
What's it, is it in a pedal assist?
It ramps on actually, kind of gentle. It's like a pretty gentle riding experience. It's like a turbocharger. It like spools up, kind of.
That's the size it'll go, right?
It's on max height, yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Does this come in 2 sizes?
This, I think, just one size.
It feels pretty
Feels
good.
pretty good,
Yeah,
right?
I think I could use. I don't know how you feel. I feel like I could use a little more reach.
Exactly. That's kind of what I've already been saying is like, for my height, it should have a longer seat post, but you know, that's a $10 fix. You literally just buy this seat post and swap it out. Depends on what kind of quality you want, I guess. 10 bucks to 100 bucks. One thing that kind of sucks is the TFT display. I cannot see through my polarized lenses. Bro, that does not look like a comfortable place to take a nap. Is that guy even alive? So if you're looking for something that rides pretty well off-road, this is probably a pretty decent option with the suspension. But the most practical question for an e-bike, can it ride on the sand? Let's find out. Here's the perfect time to try. We have a police truck rolling on through, so we'll cut off here and just see how it does. So it's putting down the power, 1400 watts, 1000 watts, 700 watts, and it kind of just like reduces our power down to 400 watts. Oh gosh, cruise control is on. It's about taking off on me. So I don't know. I guess the answer is somewhere between yes and no. Like it just won't give you like power at these like slower speeds. But if we can get it up a little bit faster, my goodness, there's so much marine layer. Like you can't even see like beyond like the first wave out there. This is crazy. Once I get down here, it's totally fine. Oh, we're on cruise control again. I need to get in the menus and turn that off. But down here, I mean, now it'll give like 1400 watts now that we're at like a higher speed, and we have the fenders on there, and I cannot see where I need to turn left because there's so much freaking marine layer out here. So I'd say, you know, it's got 90 newton meters of torque. It just doesn't really like unleash that full 90 newton meters until you get it kind of cranking along at a higher speed. Now it's giving 1200 watts, but now dialing down to 700 watts as I get down to about 5. So at the slower speeds, it kind of preserves the motor from overheating. But yeah, you could just kind of, you know, get off, do some burnouts, do some donuts or something. You need to. I'm dizzy. Oh gosh, we're on cruise. So we'll get a little range update here. 8.32 miles, 41 minutes into this. Let's go try the California incline.
With a hatchet and a rough.
You say it with a hatchet?
Poppy went back to Border Patrol, got my stop car.
There was a dude that got arrested with a hatchet around here not too long ago. Wait, no, he didn't even get arrested. I think they just took his hatchet from him. I'm really curious what happens if we just kind of hit the sand at like a higher speed and keep the speed up. Oh, I gotta take my shades off to see. 1200 watts, 1200 watts, 900 watts. Yeah, it just kind of fizzles out as you lose speed. It just won't give you the power. But at least you're not gonna burn your motor up, so that's nice. Well, no promises you're not gonna burn your motor up, I guess. I can't tell you what you're gonna do. Hey, and just like that, we are, oh my goodness, I'll knock myself off this bike. We are out of the marine layer, basically. Kind of crazy how that works. It's like super marine layery down there and sunny right here. All right, so we're here in sunny Santa Monica for the time being. We're gonna do the California incline, 85-foot climb, 12% incline, 12% grade, that is. Yeah, this thing likes to get up and go, man. It likes to go fast. And we'll start out on the very congested spiral section here. It's gonna be a less than ideal start, but I think this bike can handle it. 900 watts, 940 watts, 850 watts full throttle, pedal assist 5. I'm gonna have to let off, but we're on cruise control, and full throttle 660 watts at 5 miles an hour. So it's like right at like 4 or 5 miles an hour is like where it kind of starts reducing your power down to like 500-600 watts. Yeah, now we're 700, 800, 900. So I could do that spiral section on its own, full throttle, and for the 12% California grade, let's see what I can do here. 800 watts, 900 watts, 1300 watts. We have reached escape velocity, or escape power, I should say. Well, whoa. So 1430 watts. They say this bike can do 1000 watts nominal on that Bafang geared hub motor with the nylon gears. Doesn't have like the steel reinforced gears like some of the 60 volt options we've seen, but this is pulling a solid 22 miles an hour, and I do believe we are on cruise control, not pedaling, doing 1400 watts. So yeah, pretty solid electric bicycle. And somebody spilled their grape mulches jam, it appears. So the brakes are Tektro 180 millimeter rotors. Let's go ahead and whip on down this. We should top out at 35 pretty quickly. We do have a little bit of weight on this thing, and we are freaking cooking, and there are people So we'll pull on them a bit. Yeah, these Tectros are really nice, man. They are very linear in their power delivery since they are hydraulic, and pretty much the limiting factor on these is going to be how well the tires stick, I think. Yeah, pretty solid. A little bit of dive on that front suspension, which is typical. So I don't really see any reason not to buy this bike other than, I guess, maybe the price. It is $1,999. So I mean, if you're just looking at maybe another option, 60 volt option per se, possibly over 52 volts. Maybe if you want a little bit stronger gear, stronger controller for the price, maybe more battery. We'll see where we end up on battery. Components on this one are definitely a step above a lot of the stuff that I review on this channel. Not all of it, but a lot of it. I guess price is a bit more than usual too. Well, is it? I don't even know, bro. Let's try the brakes. Low flying chopper out there. Check that out, dude. That's pretty cool, man. I feel like they're just out here sightseeing. So we get a little brake test in here from about 20. I don't know where we are. I can't. Yeah. Really solid brakes, man. What's that chopper doing though, bro? Let's see if we can get this thing off the ground a bit. Oh yeah. Careful there, bro. So there's the performance of it. You can see the current price link below the video in the description box. If you did decide to buy this bike and you bought through that link down there, it would help support my reviews, and I greatly appreciate your support. Let's head on home, check the final range, and I'll share my final thoughts. Basically, this thing likes to go fast. The suspension is good. 52 volts is a little bit dialed up from our typical 48 volt e-bike, but not quite as peppy as a 60 volt bike or, you know, a dual motor e-bike, but you know, not having the dual motor helps keep the weight down. It is 52 volt, 20 amp hour. Range might become a concern after a while, considering it can do 1600 watts peak. So I mean, if you're running it hard, going fast, you could burn through that entire battery pretty quick. But yeah, suspension's nice, pretty good components all around. Let's head on home, check the final range. What is this thing, dude? We gotta check this thing out. What is this? Is it electric?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How fast does that go?
How much was it?
How fast does it go?
60.
Oh, that's awesome. Music's so loud, can't even hear, man. I wanted to ask her what it was, but I mean, it was too difficult communicating. I do not think that guy has moved at all. My goodness. Bro is just straight up standing on his head, solving Rubik's Cubes. That is impressive. 2 Rubik's Cubes upside down. I don't even understand how that's possible. Looks like you got the one over there done.
10 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
You got it. Turn.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, thanks for watching, y'all. Thank you.
That was amazing. And it looks like the police are headed somewhere. Full steam ahead out there, man. This dude on the bike's about to light it up. Definitely fast enough to take the fast way home. And obviously this is killing our range a lot, and I have not really pedaled this bike at all today because the pedal stroke is just too short for me. And this is just funner. Hitting 36, we'll take it. Now this thing is straight up holding 35, doing 1400 watts. At some point the motor is gonna start getting a little bit warm because it should only be able to do 1000 watts, not nominal. If you run it over 1000 watts for too long, it's going to start building heat. And we've been doing this for like a solid 2 minutes on cruise control. Saved by the red light. All right, dudes, just getting into the neighborhood here. Let's see where we're at on range. Hour 27 minutes ride time, average speed almost 13 miles an hour, and distance is showing 18.45. Oh yeah, brakes are pretty good on this thing. And battery, it's getting down there. It's hard to tell you the truth. It's about a third of that green bar left. So I mean, yeah, if you're gonna be pushing it hard like that, you can burn through a battery really fast when you have a high power electric bike, which is, you know what this is, 1600 watts, and it was running that high power for quite a while. So $2,000 in the link below the video. Click on that link down there if you want to buy this thing. If not, I understand, it is pretty fast. And also, there's, you know, other options out there that are pretty similar, you know, like some 60 volt options. Just depends on what you're looking for. If this is not the bike for you, you should probably watch this video right here on the screen because YouTube is recommending it and they know what you want to see, dude. Watch this video. Catch you over there.